In the vast universe of jazz recordings, few albums hold the same reverence and timeless appeal as Bill Evans Trio's Waltz for Debby. Analogue Productions UHQR release of this iconic live session has sparkled considerable excitement and debate among audiophiles and jazz enthusiasts alike. To evaluate this new pressing, I compared it to the Tidal premium streaming service and the Recordings original jazz classic. Now I'm going to go ahead and break this down by giving you a little bit of an overview of the UHQR and the original jazz classic pressing. While I do that, I'm going to show you some B-roll video, and then we're going to follow up with pros and cons of both. So grab yourself a cup of coffee, get comfortable, and let's dive into it. From the first notes of My Foolish Heart, it becomes clear that the UHQR release brings a new level of detail and presence to this classic recording. One of the most striking aspects is the quieter noise floor. This pressing's superior quality allows the subtleties of the performance to shine through without the distraction of surface noise, which can be a significant advantage for critical listening. The UHQR version also emphasizes the ensemble's interaction, capturing the finer details of Scott LaFaro's bass and Paul Motion's drums with remarkable clarity. The band's dynamic interplay is more pronounced, creating a sense of immediacy and intimacy. The piano, however, seems to lack brightness that many might expect. Instead, the overall bottom end is more prominent, providing a richer, more robust foundation that some listeners might find preferable, while others might miss the sparkling clarity of Evans' keys. Interestingly, the audience presence is more vivid in the UHQR pressing. This heightened realism can make the listener feel more part of the live session, enhancing the sense of being at the village vanguard. However, this pronounced audience noise could also seem as a distracting, depending on one's preference for live recordings. Recordings original jazz classics, otherwise known as OJC, on the other hand, focuses more on Bill Evans' piano, presenting it with a natural and unembellished sound. This approach highlights the nuanced touch and lyrical quality of Evans' playing, which can be particularly appreciated by those who favor a more straightforward presentation of the music. As a piano player myself, I find this natural sound of the keys more appealing, as it closely resembles the acoustic experience of being next to a grand piano. While the OJC pressings may not match the UHQR in the terms of technical refinement and noise floor, it delivers a compelling and honest portrayal of the music. The emphasis here is on Evans' piano, allowing the listener to immerse in his expressive and intricate performance. For those who rely on streaming services, the Tidal versions offer a convenient but somewhat compromised listening experience. While the overall essence of the album is preserved, the fine details and dynamic range present in both the UHQR and OJC vinyl pressings are noticeably lacking in the streaming version. The compression format fails to capture the full depth and richness of the live performance, making it less desirable option for audiophiles seeking the best possible sound quality. So let's go ahead and take a closer look at each album, talking about the pros and cons, and we will start out with the UHQR pressing, which is no doubt, from a presentation standpoint, far more superior, but really what matters here is the sound quality. The UHQR pressing excels with its quieter noise floor, allowing listeners to experience the recording without the distractions of surface noise. This aspect is particularly noticeable in the quieter passages where the subtleties of the performance can be appreciated. This pressing brings out the entire ensemble, highlighting the intricate interplay between Evans, LaFaro, and motion. The bass and drums are rendered with exceptional clarity, making a listener more aware of the trio's dynamic interactions. While the UHQR provides a rich, full-bodied sound, the piano's brightness is slightly subdued compared to the other pressing. This results in a warmer, more bottom-heavy presentation that some may actually find enhances the overall balance, while others might miss the piano's sparkling top end. The UHQR pressing captures the live audience with greater prominence. This can enhance the feeling of being present at the Village Vanguard, adding to the live atmosphere. However, this feature could be a double-edged sword, as the increased audience noise could be seen as either immersive or distracting. Now let's talk about the a lot more affordable and approachable Craft Recordings OJC pressing. The OJC pressing places a greater emphasis on Bill Evans' piano, presenting it with a natural, unembellished sound. This allows for listeners to focus more on Evans' lyrical and expressive playing, which is a key element of the album's charm. While the OJC may not have a ultra-quiet noise floor of the UHQR, it still offers a clean and detailed listening experience. The focus is on the piano, combined with the balanced representation of bass and drums, creates a cohesive sound that many will appreciate for its authenticity. The OJC pressing delivers sound that feels like being next to a grand piano. For piano players and those who prefer a straightforward presentation, this pressing offers a more familiar and comfortable listening experience. So where do you go from here? Do you outlay the $150 for the UHQR, or do you spend the $40 on the OJC? Well, ultimately, the choice between the Analogue Productions pressing and the Craft Recordings pressing of Waltz for Debby comes down to personal preference and listening priorities. The UHQR offers an immersive, detailed experience that brings out the full ensemble and live atmosphere, making it a standout for those who appreciate the enhanced realism and depth. On the other hand, the OJC focuses on Bill Evans' piano, and which provides a more straightforward and natural sound, which can be more satisfying for listeners who prioritize the purity of the piano's tone. Listeners deeply familiar with this album may find the enhanced details of the UHQR release a revelation, uncovering nuances previously unheard. Yet, those who cherish the simplicity and naturalness of Evans' piano might lean towards the OJC for its honest portrayal of its timeless recording. Both versions have its merits, and in the end, the best choice is the one that resonates most with your personal tastes and listening habits. Now, my preference, I like both. I think if I have friends coming over that want to experience all the intricate details that you can get out of vinyl records and are familiar with Waltz for Debby, I will likely put on the UHQR. This would almost be a demo album for me to showcase certain enhanced sounds that might have been missed in other versions of this release. On the other hand, if I just want to listen to Waltz for Debby and I like to just have it on for my own personal preference or my own personal enjoyment, I will likely choose the OJC pressing. I preferably like Bill Evans' sound on the piano here, and I will forgive the higher noise floor for just having what I feel is a recording that doesn't necessarily focus on the entire ensemble as intricate and as detailed as UHQR, but more so towards Bill Evans' piano. And personally, my own taste, when I listen to a Bill Evans album, I'm really listening for the piano. So this aligns to what I would want to hear from when I listen to a Bill Evans pressing. It doesn't degrade the UHQR. It's an amazing pressing and very detailed. However, I think if you do have the original jazz classic and the noise floor does not bother you and you feel like the focus is more on the music and not the whole experience and you're happy with that, save the $150. On the other hand, if you have the UHQR and you feel that some of those extra details and the constant background of the live audience coming in almost crystal clear fashion, where you can almost hear the conversations word for word, a little bit annoying, maybe you should pick up the OJC. Ultimately, the choice is yours. So while you think about it, grab yourself a cup of coffee, and I'll see you on the next video.